You can spend weeks obsessing over hex codes, typography, and logo placement, polishing every slide until your pitch deck looks like a masterpiece. You hit send, and then absolute silence. The reality of the venture capital filter is much faster than most founders realize. When an investor opens your file, they aren't sitting down for a deep dive. They spend an average of 2 to 5 minutes on a first-pass review. In that window, they aren't looking for a reason to fund the company. They are actively hunting for a reason to say no, so they can clear the next deck off their desk. If you search online for an example of how to survive this gauntlet, one file inevitably comes up: Square's Series C pitch deck. It has become the primary reference point for the startup world, the document credited with securing a $100 million round. But there is a massive catch. The famous Square deck shared on dozens of blogs and SlideShare pages is a fake. Square keeps its real materials private. The document circulating online is a reconstruction built by university students. This reconstruction serves as a blueprint because the students didn't have access to Square's internal design team. They stripped away the visual polish, leaving behind the raw structural logic that actually secures a term sheet. Most founders walk into a meeting trying to pitch the business they already built. Investors, however, are only interested in funding the business they can clearly picture growing. A deck does not win a round of funding on its own. The document's true function is to organize evidence so efficiently that it survives the investor's internal mental filter. To survive that filter, you have to treat the deck like a mechanical engine, systematically dismantling skepticism slide by slide. The first major mistake founders make on their problem slide is leading with abstract math, like claiming they will target 1% of a $50 billion global market. Square did the opposite. They opened with co-founder Jim McKelvey losing a specific $2,000 glassblowing sale because he couldn't accept a credit card. This localized the pain. It took a massive industry failure and narrowed it down to millions of small merchants who were effectively locked out of the digital economy by clunky, expensive legacy hardware. For the solution slide, Jack Dorsey bypassed the typical feature list for a physical demonstration. He skipped the technical explanation by plugging a physical reader into his phone and swiping the investor's credit card right there in the meeting. The takeaway is clear. If you are forced to over-explain how your solution works, you are already losing the room. This logic also applied to their business model. Square used a subtraction rule, stripping their pricing down to a single flat readout, 2.75% per swipe. No jargon, no tears. In an investor's mind, complexity in pricing signals a lack of clarity in execution. Simple pricing proves you understand your own operation. Square then applied this clarity to their vulnerabilities through a tactic called preemptive defense. Instead of trying to persuade the investor, they focused on disarming them. This resulted in what co-founder Jim McKelvey called the confession, a slide titled 140 Reasons This Will Fail. By listing every fatal risk imaginable, from serious issues like fraud and bank regulations to the robot uprising, they took control of the narrative. By owning these vulnerabilities up front, they demonstrated a high level of competence. They effectively forced investors to stop hunting for reasons to reject them because the founders had already identified every flaw. The final proof required to secure a check is traction. This graph visualizes an aggressive exponential growth curve, showing how Square prioritized real-world momentum. By highlighting $1 million in daily volume and 100,000 new merchants per month, the deck demonstrated the velocity of the business, shifting the focus from a single snapshot to a sustained trajectory. Traction is the load-bearing wall of the entire deck. It is the data that confirms to an investor that the narrative they just heard is already working in the real world. Square teaches us that a successful deck is a precisely engineered structural argument, not an art project. You can test your own deck right now. Read it out loud, slide by slide, and ruthlessly cut anything where you catch yourself explaining the mechanics rather than showing the momentum. Finding this airtight structure through trial and error can take months, and most founders don't have the pattern matching skills of a seasoned VC. To solve that, we created the $497 VC-ready Canva pitch deck kit. It includes 16 slide structural themes, like Tech Forward and Clinical Professional, paired with a consulting manual that breaks down the psychological reasons why specific slides work. Check the link in the description to get started. It's time to stop pitching the business you already built and start showing investors the business they can picture growing.